In this video, I'm going to show you how we are going to use Google Classroom for your instructional model training. When you enter Google Classroom, you will see a message to click on the Classwork tab to find the modules. Everything that you will do will be done on the Classwork tab. There is nothing you need to do on the stream. As a matter of fact, on the stream, you'll see a helpful reminder to click on the Classwork tab to access the modules. When you go to the Classwork tab, you will see your first module has been loaded. We're going to start with Spark. Notice that the components within our Spark module follow along with the components of the instructional model. So we have a Spark, objective, student-focused instruction, assessment, closure, technology integration, and professional practices. Each of the components in the instructional model will follow the same outline. So if we look at the Spark, you'll notice that this icon is dark and it is in the form of a question. This tells you that it's a question post type. You'll also notice that it has a due date. Any icon that is dark and has a due date is something that you need to interact with and submit. So if I click on Spark to open it, you'll see your directions. It tells you to click View Question, and it gives you a couple of images to help you if you're not sure where you need to click. So I'm going to click on View Question to open the question. Here is the question that I need to answer. How do you currently engage your students or grab their attention at the beginning of a lesson? Right here is where you put your answer. So you're going to type your answer here. When you're done typing in your answer, you will click Turn In. When you click Turn In, you will then be able to see your classmates' answers, and you'll see here in the directions that you need to reply to at least one other person. So once you have replied to one other person, you have completed this activity. We'll go back to the instructional model training and back to the Classwork tab, and we'll go on to the next component, which is objective. Notice that this icon is grayed out and it is in the form of a book. This indicates that it is a material. There is no due date with a material, which means it's not something that you have to submit or turn in, but it is information that you need to read. So we'll click on objective and we'll see that it's giving us the objective for this particular component. Moving on, we see student-focused instructions, again in the form of a material, which means you don't have to turn in anything, but you do need to click on it and read through the information that is provided. In this instructions, you need to review the Spark NPS instructional model, which is linked here. The other resources, which may include blogs, websites, videos, articles, are listed to give you additional options for Spark activities. So if you're looking for Spark activities, these are some great websites to start with. You can click on that and review those at your own discretion. If we go back to the instructional model, and we close that, we go on to assessment. Notice that this icon is dark and it has a due date. This is an assignment post type. So if we click on assessment, it says to click View Assignment to open this assignment. We'll click View Assignment, and it tells you that it wants you to, in the private comments area of this assignment, list a Spark activity that you are going to try. Here is the private comments area. A private comment is visible to only you and the teacher. This is where you need to submit your answer for this one, and then notice it says to click Mark as Done to submit your assignment. That's very important because that way the teacher knows that you are finished with this particular assignment. Here's Mark as Done. So add your private comment, click Mark as Done, and to complete this particular assignment. Back to the Classwork tab. The next activity we have is closure. You'll see that closure again is in the form of a question. I'll click on it to open it, and it says to click View Question to answer the question. If I click View Question, I will see the question and the directions, as well as a place for me to answer my question. I will type in my answer, I will click Turn In, and then I will be able to see my classmates' responses, where I will reply to at least one classmate. We'll go back to the Classwork tab, close that up, and we'll move on. Notice that technology integration is again a material, which means there's nothing that you need to do to submit, but you do need to open it and read through this information. The same with professional practices. Nothing that you need to submit, no due date, but you do need to open it and read through this information. So the Spark component has been loaded in there for you. Once we're finished with Spark, we'll move on to Objective, and all of the modules will follow a similar outline. Remember, all of your work is going to be done on the Classwork tab, and don't forget to read your instructions.